Okay, greetings, Patriots, Starseeds, Lightworkers, and of course our very brave military. Welcome, 1776 United. We're in a worldwide and galactic revolution. Now, I'm having a hard time understanding why the libtards and the Trump haters are having such a difficult time with their distorted ideas about why, all this is coming down. And it all has to come down. Trump's doing an amazing job bringing it all down. He is not attacking the people. He's removing the homeless and putting them in safer spots. Okay? I don't know if anybody knows this, but the leftists, the Democrats, wanted the homeless out on the streets so they can be easily picked up into, black vans and taken off and harvested. It's all about the money. Trump's trying to save them from that. See, I find that the conservative MAGA people, patriots, have a concept and level of intelligence that does not allow them to feed into the narrative, into the leftist narrative. Everybody, and this is the big fight and the war that's going on right now. The weak-minded ones are the leftists that just cannot see, and all they can do is basically what they've been programmed to do. They only look at something that they perceive as an optic on the surface. They don't bother to look deeper into the whole matter, into the whole situation of what's actually happening. And this is the problem that we're having. Most of these leftists are in Western society. I have found that a lot of there are really no leftists anywhere else other than in the Western society or in the Western European concept, the way they have been basically brainwashed. And thank God we had patriots that did not, capitulate to this ideology. So, what Trump is trying to do, he's trying to save the homeless, to relocate them so they're not so vulnerable to these body snatchers that are going out there and snatching them and using them to harvest. And I don't care what anybody says. This is what's happening. I have a child on the street back in Western Canada, in the city, and she tells me everything. She tells me exactly what's going on there. So, this is coming right from an eyewitness to me, so I know exactly what's going on. And, what Trump's trying to do is, see, these low, shallow-minded people think that Trump's bringing, crashing their world. No, he's crashing the pedophiles' world. The world that we see around us is all demonic, and it all has to be crashed down. Why can't people see that? I mean, you can see how the Western European nations, when they rolled into Washington along with that comedy show Zelensky, that they were all desperate trying to not, provoke war in Ukraine. They were asking asking Trump for some leniency for what they have done. And they were begging for mercy, basically. And Trump's he's not going to deal with it. People are going to pay for what they have done. Trump is directly attacking the people that have been putting human trafficking on the map with all these other lab situations that are going on. It is, when it comes out, it's going to be absolutely mind-blowing for a lot of you leftist retards that can't figure this thing out. Now, you're going to have to listen. If you don't listen to me or don't listen to some of the other truthers, you're going to have to see it with your own eyes, and you're going to be shocked when all this happens. And I personally, want to have the Band-Aid ripped off. So, but, other people, smarter people than I, have a different concept and a different idea what is happening out there. Trump is only attacking the same elements that have been attacking humanity. Okay? He's not attacking the people. And for you leftists up in Canada, you have been so brainwashed with, the socialism and the ideology that, Canada's so great and we want to stay sovereign and all this other horse shit that's out there. There's nothing sovereign about this. I've been around Canada for 70 fucking years. And I seen it change. There was some freedom back in the 60s and 70s. There was. I seen it actually. The politicians were not so powerful back then. The people were there. There was a people power there, but not now. They have rebuilt their insanity, their fortresses, to where, and then have the all the cops be loyal to them and use them as their muscle to keep them protected. But you Canadians, you leftists, don't see that shit. This is why, people that have a pragmatic thought process, like people in Alberta, want to leave the socialist, NAZI programs, because that's what they are. If you don't think that, that your life is good, that's great. I'm glad you think that, but don't forget, I live here in the Philippines, and I have been here since 1995. And I can tell you, even with all the bullshit that's going on here to this day, down here, okay, everywhere around the world, with everything so high in prices, I still only pay between $1,000 and $1,100 Canadian to live here in my house and support five people, okay? And plus I pay all the bills on the hydro and whatever else has to be, and that's only still $1,000 to $1,100 a month. Now, when I go back to Canada, okay, that doesn't even touch what I have to go through, and I live in a motorhome back there, okay, because I do not want to have anything to do with any type of, I want to stay off the grid system because it is so corrupt. That's my life right now, and I'm trying to lay out this content to explain to people, and I'm targeting the leftists, the ones that just cannot see, cannot process this stuff, to understand that you're getting fucked over. And I do this because I want you all to wake up, to understand exactly what the problem is, and see that what the conservatives are trying to say and do is what is actually happening. We have major problems, and these governments that are so corrupt, so satanic, so into attacking humanity to empower themselves. And there's only one man out there with, thank God, some many strong, very, very strong supporters that are changing the way that humanity will move forward. And that's Commander Trump, along with President Putin, along with Xi Jinping. These globalists, which now these three have expropriated, they just went around them. They're not even including them into their future plans, is a battle plan to bring this whole ugly system down. And humanity should be supporting that. we all should be supporting this. It's not, you know, if you have a soul, if you have any type of empathy for humanity, then you have to understand Trump is working very, very hard to liberate the world, not just the United States. This is extremely important. You know, we have to get the shift going, because it's not just about once we are free of this satanic tyranny, then we can move on to more beautiful things galactically. Because really, we're not going to have our galactic brothers and sisters approach us as long as we're in this state of mind. Every one of you that are out there trying to demonize Trump and the movement and the Earth Alliance is doing harm to humanity, but you're also doing harm to yourself, because you're exposing your ignorance and stupidity, and that will be dealt with. You will be dealt with on that. And I have said this since 2018. I saw where this was going, and that means all you corrupt officials and authoritarians of any and law, all of it. If you've been in the corruption, the only way you're going to be able to do to save your ass at this point and be on the right side of history is to back out to what you're doing right now and recognize the unlawful orders you're being told, okay? And to deny to follow through with them. Even to the point where you have to take your badge off or remove yourself from that position. Many doctors have, many doctors could not. You know, I'm hearing stories where, you know, the doctors would exchange the bad Kool-Aid for saline and just sugar water or whatever it was, salt water, whatever, and pump that into people to try to save their lives, because they knew how dangerous that shit was. They're heroes. And there's a lot of people that are out there that are, including myself, that are trying to help people that did make the mistake by taking the bad Kool-Aid and trying to help them. I know people all around that was stupid enough to do it, and they did it, and now they're paying for it by dearly. So I'm here to help wake up the people, because the sooner we all can wake up, the sooner that this planet can shift its consciousness. And everybody that's in it, we want to bring everybody along. We have to, because this is what God's will is. No matter if you're an atheist or whatever, we're here to open arms to try to help your consciousness see more light. You're in the dark right now because you've been programmed that way. And we are here to remove the darkness from your life and bring the light to your life, because, the light is the only way. God is the only way. It is. I have no other words to say for that. And what Commander Trump is doing right now is bringing God back to everybody's life. Okay? And if you disagree with that, and you are out there doing the things that you're doing, then you will be dealt with accordingly. And if you don't take what I'm saying seriously, your karma will eventually catch up to you, because the planet's shifting. And we're not going to stand for any more demonic bullshit or people abusing humanity the way they have been abusing. It's just not going to continue. I can see the shift changing, And if you want to save yourself, your family, and everything else, you have to change your ways. And that's my analogy on it, okay? Anyways, we'll see you on the next one.